Hi guys, welcome to this amazing episode of Fashionably Pernia. Actually, I think it's going to be my most challenging episode because we are in this amazing new cafe in Delhi called Libertario. And we're here in the morning. I didn't expect there to be such a crowd, but clearly the coffee and the food must be amazing because it is packed. So we're going to be speaking over this noise. Today, my guest is somebody I have had an eye on for a while because she's very cute, has very good style, has a good sense of humor, which you will get to know through her content, even though you don't know her personally. And what do you call yourself?
I would say influencer, coffee entrepreneur.
Influencer and coffee entrepreneur Arushi Mehra. So your husband and you have opened this cafe.
Yes.
We're going to meet your husband in a bit, but congratulations because it's been a month and it's clearly doing very well.
Yeah.
The coffee is great, by the
Yes.
way. Yeah, coffee is great. So let's start with the content. The reason why I've had my eye on you and I was like, I really want you on the podcast at some point is because I just feel like you're one of the only fashion content creators who has taste and it doesn't feel like you're a fashion victim. There's like a really nice personal style that comes through. There's something about it which feels like you've always been this way. You're not trying to do this because for content. No, there's something about it which feels very natural. I relate to your content because I think it's very cute. But for outfit infos, her page is great.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. You know, when I started this journey of content creation, it was never about going viral or being famous or popular. It was always about sharing my style in a way that feels really authentic to who I am as a person. I love taking photos. So this has always just been a part of like who I am and like, you know, capturing those moments. And slowly it just happened that I ended up loving capturing my style and my outfits. For me, it was not just about the clothes, but I realized it's a way of expressing my identity and like really who I am as a person.
I think you're such a good fit for all the luxury brands who kind of use you as a content creator. I mean,
Yeah.
you've done collaborations with everyone at this point.
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton, Gucci.
I feel really grateful to be
Yeah.
associated with, you know, these big fashion houses. So I have been working with Dior, Gucci, Hermes.
A brand like Hermes would be very selective. I think it's
To
you and
have
these
this opportunity.
girls in Bombay, they love to collaborate with sometimes the House of Misu girls.
Yes.
Who are like more like my age, but
Yeah.
they're super chic and
Yeah.
also great
And
girls,
they
beautiful
have really
girls.
been the pioneers of fashion content creation and
Also, they are themselves. They're just like
Absolutely.
two beautiful, tasteful girls from Bombay,
Yeah.
like doing their thing, and now they made it into a business.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's
the other thing. You know, I've
Yeah.
always treated content creation as a business from day one. So, you know, for me, the most important thing is that when you treat something as a business,
Yeah.
even in the eyes of the audience, for them, it's not a hobby that you're pursuing. Like you're serious about it. And that is eventually what sets you apart from the others. So for me, it's always been about working with the right brands that I resonate with, you know, building the right connections. But most importantly, it's been about adding value. So, you know, I always say that people go on Instagram to be educated or entertained. So if you watched my content for 10 seconds and
Yeah.
you felt like I've added value to your life, that's when I know I'm doing it right, you know?
that's a really good perspective.
Yeah.
Because then you're not wasting your time or anybody else's
like
time.
I've always treated this as a business, and having that mindset is what I feel it's shaped me to be the creator that I am today.
So what I love about her content is also that the pictures and the fashion is like very modern and very like sometimes like mostly very Western and
Yeah.
very like, but the captions are like really Hindi.
Yeah.
They're so different from what like she looks like and so funny. Like
I'm like 100% like Delhi Punjabi girly.
At heart.
Yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah.
And like even when I lived in the US for like a decade, like you can take me out of like India, but you can't take India out of me. And I think that's like one of my favorite parts about myself.
I love it. So one of her captions was Arushi ki Javani. And I was like, I should name the podcast episode Arushi ki Javani, Pernia ki Zabani.
Yes. I remember there was this photo of mine and Miguel's that got like a lot of likes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put the caption, my Pati Parmeshwar, but then I literally had to call my friends and I was like, guys, like, is this okay? Because this is like truly how I feel. And they're like, dude, just do it. I swear that photos got like 15K likes, and a lot of the comments are just like, love the caption, love the caption, love the
No, it was my Pati Parmeshwar G.
Yes, wait, yeah.
And the G changes everything. So the respect goes like.
I also have a very specific music taste that you must have noticed.
Yeah, I love
so, like
it.
the cheapest 90s
I
Bollywood
love all of
songs
that
are like
too.
my favorite songs.
Yeah. So do you do everything yourself?
I have like an in-house manager who basically coordinates all of my brand partnerships and, you know, my day-to-day schedule and
Right.
activities. I think when it comes to any creative process, your rhythms need to be aligned with the people that you work with.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
very early on in my journey, I was really fortunate to meet like the right people. If it's video, it's always working with Arvind. If it's photos, it's usually working with Ria. So in that sense, I feel really blessed that, you know, when it comes to my creative outlet, I'm sharing it with people who have the same vision and goals as me. But most of the brainstorming and, you know, the actual concept, that's all me, because I'm a very hands-on person. So I love taking ownership of that. And I think that is also one thing that when I do it myself, that's how the content also translates into being a reflection of me.
Yeah, you have to be very involved.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Of course, it's different when, you know, it's a paid partnership and a brand is sending you a brief. Even then, I try my best to keep it as close to, you know, how I would see that campaign. So whenever I think about a brand deal, I always ask myself, okay, would I have promoted this if they were not paying me? Like,
Or would you wear them
exactly.
otherwise?
Like, would I go out there and buy this product with my own money? And if there's even like 10% doubt, like for me, that's not a good fit. It's hard to say no, but it's also important.
I think that's how you can keep your page super edited and
Yeah,
very aesthetic and very
curated.
beautiful, very
And
cute.
I've realized that, you know, audiences, they notice when you're going off track.
When you're selling out. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I've, you know, like over the years, I've realized that people are attracted to real stories. They want you to make them feel seen.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you're relatable, you're promoting the things that, you know, everyone can sort of resonate with. So my motto has always been like aspirational, but like luxury. So like in a very approachable and friendly way.
You wear Indian clothes very well also. Beautifully,
Thank you.
actually. What are some of the Indian brands you associate with a lot?
Okay, I love Savan Gandhi.
Savan Gandhi.
He does the most stunning cocktail saris.
Yeah, you look good in saris. Yeah.
Thank you. And I, of course, have a really soft spot for Jayanti Reddy because I was a Jayanti Reddy bride.
Very good quality.
So I
Yeah.
actually did all of my wedding shopping in Hyderabad, interestingly. Even Sabyasachi. I love the episode that you did with him, by the way.
He's so intelligent and he's such a
Yeah.
pleasure to talk to. You always learn something.
Yeah. True businessman.
Yeah.
Then there is Vidhi and Mohit's brand Itar that I love again. I think they are a beautiful bridge between being traditional and being modern. Like
It's
I
like
love
a fun brand, right?
very
like,
young,
you just want to
very
have fun. You wear it for
yeah,
stuff.
like all of their clothes are so sexy. I love
Yeah.
them.
What you do Indian really well is being sexy in Indian.
Yeah.
And I think maybe because you're so petite, you always look so graceful. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Maybe if I wore it, I would not look as graceful in the same
No,
way.
I also recently,
But there's so many good brands. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I recently discovered this brand at Ogan called Devyani and
Devyani is
And I
beautiful.
love the kurta
Beautiful.
sets that they do. I actually picked up a few like last year for like different weddings.
It's kind of like that old money, very chic,
Yes.
you know, like
It's
very
so
elegant.
understated, but like
Yeah.
stunning. Also like amazing price point for the work that they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So when we talk about Indian designers, how important is local representation as opposed to representing brands from the West, which you do so well and they love you. But do you make sure that you have a ratio of Indian designers that you always like kind of represent along with it? Do you try and create a balance?
So, you know, this question takes me back to how it all started for me, this journey of content creation. So I studied fashion. My first job was actually in men's fashion. I used to work at Xenia
Okay, very
in
cool.
PR. And then, you know, truly the start of content creation for me was in 2020 during COVID. I felt like a lot of us had a lot of time to like pause and reflect. And that's when, you know, I realized that fashion has always been sacred to me because like I mentioned, for me, it's been a way of expressing like who I am, and
Yeah.
it's shaped my identity as an individual.
Yeah.
The year was 2021. It had now been like a whole year. I hadn't gone back to India because of COVID.
Yeah.
I remember being back here and suddenly I saw this wave of new homegrown brands.
Yeah.
And each of these brands, they were local, of course, sustainable, but most importantly, they were so unique. And that's when I was like, why are people in India still shopping from like a Zara or H&M
There's
when you
no
have a
need, guys.
plethora of homegrown
I
brands?
agree.
Of course, they had beautiful products, but I felt there was a lack of visibility online.
Yeah.
Or maybe there wasn't a strong social media storytelling that was bringing them to like a larger audience.
Yeah.
And that's when it clicked with me that this is where I belong. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to share my style online, but wearing these brands that are made in India and, giving them a platform where A, they're visible, B, they're appreciated, but most importantly, where they can be shocked and they can be discovered by not just an audience that's Indian, but also international.
Yeah.
So I remember, that summer 2021, when I went back to London, my suitcase was only full of homegrown brands. And then, we had like a beautiful European summer, and I can't tell you how many people have stopped me and gone like, where is this from? And then I was like, it's a homegrown brand from India. Like,
Yeah.
you can shop in here, like, go shop. And that was just like such an epic feeling. Like,
Yeah.
till date, if I'm traveling somewhere and someone stops me and asks me, like, I feel so proud to say, like, this is made in India. That representation of homegrown brands on my platform is what gave me this
What drove you in
spotlight.
the first place.
Yeah, and that was always my reason to start this. Of course, I love my Western brands. And I just love pairing both of them together. I think that is also one of my pillars when it comes to my personal style.
Even when I began Pernia's pop-up shop, my entire aim.
It was the first website I shopped from when I was living in the US.
Yeah?
So it was the only website that delivered
We were the-
international.
we were the first.
So thank you for
Yeah.
that public service.
Thank you. So my reason for starting was to give local brands a platform. It has to be an Indian local brand. The whole reason the business was started was to give them a platform, Oh my God, I'm telling you, this is so funny. So when you talk about Indian work, right? There's a blogger, like an influencer I follow. Her name is Tamara. I don't know if you know her.
Yes.
She took out this Valentino jacket, and like before she opened it, she hyped it so much. She was like, oh my God, inside here, I have a 20,000 euro or pound, jacket. And it's like the most exquisite couture piece you'll ever see. So I was like, okay, let's just get on with it. Let's see the jacket, right?
Show us.
When she opened the jacket, it was fine. It was like a
It was fine.
I love Valentino otherwise. It was a sequin green, like that color sequin jacket with like some forest or trees or something, and with like a tassel buckle or something.
I need to see this
And she was
jacket.
like, look at the workmanship. And I'm like, dude, every Indian designer does
Yeah,
that.
this is like basic stuff
I'm like,
for them.
literally, like if you walk into a Ogan or like anywhere, you will see 10 jackets like this.
Yeah.
For like not this price, Every Indian designer does the most amazing embroidery. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have nothing on Rahul Mishra. If he had to make this jacket, he would put like 20 more trees.
Right.
And he would make it way more
Yeah.
intricate and make it like really elaborate. And then he would not even.
But also like the most beautiful way without it seeming like it's forced or anything.
It's so matter of fact that we do this amazing work. And I
Yeah.
think like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I need to start to hype everything now.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to touch on something else now. So this can clearly be a full-time job, right? Because
Of
you
course.
girls are doing so well. Some of you are buying houses with the money.
Who is buying houses?
I will tell you off camera. I know people who bought houses
Oh,
from
wow.
influencing money. Well, you opened a cafe,
Yeah.
right? So clearly,
I need to give myself more credit.
Yeah. So clearly, influencing is such a lucrative business.
If you
Open
know how
other
to play your
businesses.
cards right, definitely you can, run it as an incredible business. It can be very, very rewarding in more ways than you
How
think.
do you play your cards right to make it super lucrative?
You literally need to have a really strong personal brand. This is my one piece of advice to anyone who's starting out as a creator.
Yeah.
Please don't follow trends because trends are not timeless. And I have always maintained that when you create with authenticity, the right opportunities and people, they will find you. The big brands that I work with, of course, I had been buying from them for years. But also creating the right type of content is what I feel truly attracted them to me. B would obviously be like, know your worth. You know, this is something that I've learned from my dad, that you need to be so confident in your work. And I also believe in like manifestation, where it was like, I've already got this deal. Like I continuously tell myself that in my head. Of course, it's not been a cakewalk. You know, that's the other thing about the influencer business, is that from the outside, it looks so glamorous. It's like any other business. So if you know how to play the right moves, have the right connections, and also work with the right brands, like you can really go a long way.
And I think it's an option a lot of people are taking now.
There's no roadmap to how to be an influencer.
Again, I feel like on so many things I resonate with you, you
Yeah.
know? I feel like you're like a younger version of me, but much more put together and way better skills and way better makeup skills, you know, way better. Because I'm so bad at makeup.
I do love a good beauty moment.
Yeah, I can't. The thought of putting makeup myself like scares me. I'm like, oh God, it's like a chore, you know? Anyway, I want to do some fun questions with you. What do you think about Ishan as the new face of Boss, Ishan Khattar from India? The
Babe,
boss.
He's so hot.
He's very hot. no?
Yeah.
I like that he uses his sexuality. I love that. Because like so many times, men and women, but especially men, kind of have never used that to their advantage in India. Maybe John Abraham a little bit back in the day, but
You know, immediately his IndieWire campaign comes to my head.
Yeah.
And I think that was just brilliant because once again, the target audience was captured so well by
Yeah.
having him there. Like I remember going to the comments, it's all like, you know, girls like fangirling and stuff,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
not
yeah.
in like a creepy
that
way.
was smart actually.
And I've also had the pleasure of meeting him in person. And I can say that, you know, everything you see in person, like also translates into whatever he does online. So again, just goes back to like, you know, like he's killing it.
Also,
Truly
he
is-
backs it up with talent, no? which
Yeah.
makes all the difference. What about the Vogue USA cover with Kendall and Gigi? It's getting a lot of flack.
controversial.
Did you like it? No, just because they're saying it's boring. There's nothing fashion about it. Like, what do you feel?
I also feel like I've seen those faces like so many times now that like
You
it
wanna
just
see
doesn't
new.
feel fresh to me anymore. You
Okay,
know?
then tell me this. Because for the longest time, I felt like young girls, like their idols, like young stylish girls, their idols were like Kendall, Gigi, and
Bella.
Bella. Has that changed now? Or they're still like kind of like idolized for their passion?
I think a specific part of the audience will always follow them, and a lot to do with like the lifestyle and the way they look. But also like they don't look like most women. Like I can't look at any of them for style inspo because I'm not like 6 feet tall and like
Yeah,
you know.
that's true. That's
So
true.
for me, like I always follow people that I see a part of myself in.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and I
like
hope
real
that
girls.
things move towards that direction as well.
Yeah.
Because that is when everyone feels included and there's like a sense of community.
Yeah.
You know,
Tell me this. Why do unboxings do so well?
because first of all, like when the box isn't open, there's like a sense of mystery that you've already built around it. It's the fact that something special
Is
is
inside,
coming.
yeah.
And then for a lot of people, when it's something really expensive, it might be classified as aspirational content, right?
Yeah.
So for someone who's not purchased, say, like a Dior, Hermes, a Chanel bag, they are still living through you and knowing what that moment feels like of like unboxing your
Yeah.
first like Birkin, Kelly, whatever.
Yeah.
And then also it's like sensory overload. Like, you know, you're seeing like the ribbon, the butter paper, and then the dust
It's the
bag. And like,
anticipation, the build-up,
exactly.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
I do love like most people film this in a very candid way.
Yeah.
And I feel like people love seeing candid reactions.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, I remember, I don't know, I bought some special edition Dior bag.
Yeah.
Of course, I saw it in store.
yeah, but having
But
it at
I
home is
specifically
different.
got it wrapped in a box because I was like, I need to film this unboxing. I want to relive the moment all over again of
Yeah.
like how I felt, you know, when I first purchased it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of like mystery at first, and then there's just a lot of like honest and candid reactions.
Yeah.
And it does, in a lot of ways, manifest itself in like, you know, aspirational content, almost like you're inviting the viewer into the shopping experience that you had, you know?
Yeah. Let's get Miguel in.
Yes.
And let's talk about the cafe. Okay, guys, so we have Miguel now. Arushi's husband. I mean, that's not your only identity.
Yeah, I have my own identity, okay?
So Miguel and Arushi have opened this amazing cafe.
Thank
Miguel,
you.
where are you from?
Colombia.
You're from Colombia.
Yeah.
And the coffee is Colombian here?
We have some Indian also,
Nice.
but a lot of it is Colombian.
How did you guys get this idea to open a cafe?
So Libertario actually was started by my family 15 years ago.
Oh,
And before that, we started out as coffee growers, B2B. So
Okay.
growing beans and then selling them to different companies. So if you've heard of 100% Arabica, for example,
Right.
Blue Bottle, we supply them Colombian beans and we still do that.
oh,
Then we built a hotel
yeah,
on the plantation. We got into hospitality.
right.
And then we felt that there was a big gap between coffee shop cafe experience and hospitality.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to bridge that gap. So we started 15 years ago in Colombia. We've expanded to Mexico, Costa Rica, Chile,
Wow.
and now we're in India.
It doesn't get more authentic than this. He grows his own coffee, guys. I mean,
This coffee you're drinking is from our plantation.
it's from your plantation. It's very delicious. We're in GK2 M Block Market. That's where you can find
Yeah.
the coffee shop.
But hard to
Anyone.
miss because our facade is this beautiful bright blue
Blue.
tile.
Tile.
Yeah.
So-
Is that very Colombian, the design?
Blue is our brand color.
Yeah. And
But
your
when we
shirt?
entered India,
Yeah.
almost every other coffee shop in the country has blue colors.
Right.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do something that still maintained true to the brand, but
Yeah.
still felt a little bit more tropical, authentic to Colombia.
Yeah.
So we've done a blue exterior. Inside, it's much more earthy to
Yeah.
give you that more like Colombian feel.
How does it feel starting a business with your partner?
It's very difficult to bring a brand from Latin America and then make all the effort to bring it here.
Right.
But her and I are so passionate about coffee that we really wanted to have it maintained and be incorporated further in our life.
Right.
It has been challenging because as soon as you go into business with a partner, with your partner, the conversations change,
Yeah. You talk about work and
the
home.
dinner talk
Yeah.
changes.
And we both are so type A.
There's this term in coffee called calibrating. It's when you adjust the grind size of the grinding machine for coffee. So you get a more balanced, beautiful coffee profile when you consume it. You have to do that every day. We had a moment a couple of weeks ago where I feel like we really had to recalibrate rather, or else you're gonna find yourselves 10 years down the line and just be focused only on business.
Yeah.
It is important you take a little break, you go on a date night.
First month was super hard. You know, I would be on the dining table, and if I got a message from the team, I would almost be like, I need to attend to this now. You
Yeah.
know, like Miguel said, we really had to recalibrate like our relationship and how we're spending our personal time. Because also what changed is that now our weekends are working because Friday, Saturday, Sunday are
busiest
like
time.
our busiest days. And we were used to having like most of Saturday, but really all of Sunday together.
Yeah.
And now it's not like that anymore.
How did you guys meet?
We met in New York through a friend in 2019.
And what were you doing in New York? You
We're
were
both
working at
working.
We both
Xenia.
were
We're both
working.
working.
Yeah.
At the same place? No.
No,
No.
I was in finance.
You were in finance.
In the finance.
Oh my God, 6 foot, blue eyes.
Yeah.
What is that? In finance? You literally found
He
that.
also had a washer and dryer inside his apartment in New York.
What?
Yes.
So that was like what?
exactly.
That was one of the
like
very
one of my
strange
many
criteria.
check boxes.
So 6 foot, blue eyes in finance plus washer and
Yes,
dryer.
because like if you live in New York, like that's a huge deal. Like not having it in your hallway, having it inside your apartment. I was like, what is happening here?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you like living in India?
Short answer is, honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
Like I said, my family's from Colombia, and I see a lot of similarities between India and Colombia
Culture.
in the cultural
Even in
aspects.
the way that it looks.
Some of the, I even tell her sometimes, today it smells like Colombia. There's a big focus on family, also family values. But I think also the reason why I'm so happy here is that I went from finance to London to do my MBA.
Yeah.
And my focus on my MBA was I wanted to start my own business.
Yeah.
I've always been entrepreneurial. And as I was completing my MBA, Arushi and I sat down and I said, listen, I want to have one or two options. Either we go to Colombia or we go to India, but I want to start my own thing.
Yeah.
I was
Because
totally
both are
ready to be
entrepreneurial.
a little Colombian lady.
Yeah.
But maybe one day.
Yeah. You could always move to Colombia later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Colombia
But both are amazing entrepreneurial cultures. If
I
you
think really growing economies, a lot to do, a lot of things you can do there,
Yeah.
as opposed to places that are already so saturated, you know?
Yeah.
When they say that India is a land of opportunity, like it truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do here.
But I think something that's very important that I'm doing, I learned from my grandmothers. Both my
Yeah.
grandmothers were American.
Your grandmother was
My
American.
grandmothers,
Yeah.
both of
Both
them.
were American.
Married to Colombian guys.
Okay.
And they moved to Colombia, lived there for 70 years until
Yeah.
they passed.
Yeah.
And from the moment they reached, they started learning Spanish and they fully integrated into the culture.
Right.
And they have friends that are also foreigners. They went to Colombia, lived there for 60, 70 years. They didn't speak one word of Spanish.
Okay.
And they've really pushed on me that if you're going to be part of a culture, learn the language, immerse yourself, build something of yourself. And that's what I'm doing, right? That's
I heard
what
you
we're
speak
doing.
Hindi earlier.
I take Hindi 2 times a week,
Wow,
lessons.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're really committed to be
Yeah.
here. That's
No, his
amazing.
Hindi is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
We watched the Janvi Kapoor film together last
You understood
week.
the whole movie? A Hindi movie you can
Yeah,
understand?
I'd say my comprehension is pretty high.
Yeah.
My spoken is much weaker.
Yeah.
But at least I'm able to understand and then I can reply to you.
Right.
She's a comedian. Half her jokes or most of her jokes are in Hindi.
That's true.
So before I couldn't laugh, I couldn't enjoy the joke, but now I can, right?
Yeah, I think
Which
you're
is
probably
important.
relating to each other better now that he can
Yeah.
understand your jokes in
There's
Hindi.
so many like iconic Bollywood dialogues, and I was like, oh, you
Yeah.
need to know Hindi to get
Yeah.
these.
Sweet. What have you like focused on like menu wise to give people something specific maybe that they don't get in Delhi otherwise or
Something that is very important for us is to be able to adapt to the culture in which we're in,
yeah.
both in terms of food and coffee. So if we're in Mexico, we'll have a lot of our coffee profiles be Mexican beans because there are great coffees grown in Mexico. Same like India. We came here, we wanted to have Indian beans because there are beautiful profiles. We just have to know how to roast them.
Right.
But food, I've tried to do something a little bit different where rather than incorporating more Indian dishes in the menu, I wanted to incorporate a little bit more Latin American aspects.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
we
we
have
don't
a
have
whole
that.
section on empanadas. Empanadas is a type of,
Like a Colombian samosa.
And it looks like a gujia.
And it's yummy.
but it's totally different flavor profile. We get a lot of people ordering that. We have these things called pan de bono, which is a Colombian cheese bread. It's very traditional. You have it every morning with your hot coffee
You
in
know
Colombia.
how Indians have like tea and biscuits? The Colombians will like have this little cheese bread with their black coffee.
So I love that you're doing this because
Yeah.
this makes this place absolutely unique then. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If I want a good empanada or if I want to go to the cheese bread thingy, like
Yeah.
I'll have to come here, right? I
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
you have something no one else has.
And another thing that we are the first ones to do is that, you know how there are wine and food pairings. So we have coffee and food pairings.
Nice.
So even when we were designing our menu, one thing that was really important was that the kind of food that you have with your coffee is either complementary in nature or it's a contrast. But it should never take away from the
Flavors.
profile of the coffee
Yeah.
and the notes that it has. Every coffee that you have here, like on the menu, we've written what kind of food you can enjoy it with, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the first time I'm hearing this.
So like for
actually.
instance, most coffees you wouldn't have with like a spicy Indian dish because when you eat something spicy, that's the only taste that lingers inside your palate, you know?
Yeah.
And the coffee, like it kind of just gets lost in those strong flavors.
I had a banana and some nuts and all, but I think after this I'm going to go eat some breakfast
Yeah.
brunch here. It sounds
Yeah,
so good.
please,
and
please
guys,
do.
please open more venues near my daughter's school or near my house. Please, my life is in these two places.
Hopefully
It's
very
so
soon.
hard in Delhi with the traffic. Like if you're not like, around, then it's very hard to get to a
Yeah.
place especially.
I think
But GK2 M Block has become a food hub, I have to say. A lot of
Some
food here.
article came out
Yeah.
that said that this neighborhood has the highest concentration of coffee shops in a neighborhood in the entire country.
Yeah, I believe that. In GK2 M Block Market,
does.
it's like every other thing is a coffee shop, restaurant, coffee shop,
You
restaurant.
blink your eye and a new coffee shop opens.
Yeah.
But you know,
That's why
I
innovation is
love that.
important.
Like, I love that we have the same, genre places like opening up around us.
Yeah.
Because that also gives your guests like a lot of variety to choose from.
Variety,
And like,
yeah.
that's great.
Also, the space gets full. So if it's full, they have to go somewhere else, right? So at least they have options.
Although we have a waiting.
You have a waiting, that's
We
true.
have a waitlist system.
Yeah. Crazy, but it's quite big, I have to say. Enough seating.
Yeah, we have a lot of exciting things planned in the future. So, as a brand, we're all about having immersive experiences, which is why, we say that we don't just serve coffee. Like over here, we're inviting you into our world. We're giving you an experience. So, culture is really at the core of what we do as a brand.
But also, it's probably one of our most key differentiators.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of another Colombian in India doing coffee.
Nor have I.
So
And I would
it's
know.
something that that is unique to us, which is special,
Yeah.
and enables us to that as we grow and scale across different parts of India, it will be a very strong marker of our identity.
Next location, Chhatarpur, near my house.
Next to your house.
But
Congratulations.
how does it feel to be a Libertario? Like,
I'm very pleasantly surprised because the coffee was amazing. Like I said, the food looks really good. Again, I was shocked at 9 a.m. that it was full because I go to coffee shops in the morning a lot because I drop my daughter off and then I go get coffee and they're empty. I'm the only one in the morning, lurking around asking for breakfast and stuff. This is the only coffee shop I've seen early morning packed. First of all, I don't know why in Delhi a lot of coffee shops open late.
yeah.
They open at 11 or
10
something.
Makes no sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
you serve coffee, please open at 8 a.m. because,
Yeah.
or at least kind of early-ish because
Yeah.
that's the time where you want your coffee,
need your
right?
morning fuel.
It's very weird. All coffee shops, please start opening earlier. I don't understand this concept,
Take
but
notes.
yeah, but no, I think it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think the fact that it's packed says a lot, honestly. Yeah.
And I think, you can relate to this that when you start a brand or like a new business,
Yeah.
and you see it evolve into like a community
Yeah.
that, you've built like from scratch.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most rewarding
It's so
feelings.
rewarding.
No.
When random people you don't know from anywhere
Yeah.
start consuming what you're creating
Exactly.
and start like enjoying what you're doing and
Yeah.
becoming a part of your community, it's amazing.
Like I
Very
always
special
say
feeling.
that,
Yeah.
when we serve coffee to a guest and we see them taking like a little photo, like before consuming it, I'm like, okay, I created a moment for you that you want to capture. And
Yeah,
like,
we created.
yeah, we created. Sorry. But like,
Yeah.
imagine like if I made that coffee. I can make a beautiful cup of cappuccino, by the way,
Yeah.
if you would like some after. But yeah, I think we share a lot of similar feelings and this chat has been amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy to come here. I'm really happy to get to know you guys. I'm very happy about this. I'm just meeting two young people doing beautiful things. Beautiful people doing beautiful things. Very nice.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Congratulations, guys.
Thank
All right,
you.
bye.
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 So in my effort to promote homegrown talent, today I'm wearing Pace Active. I am so comfortable and Arushi loved it too, so it's approved. And this really cute jewelry by a brand called Something Simple.